This video is an orientation video to those of you who are phone coordinators or vigil coordinators, whatever title we decide to go with. Basically, those of you who will receive referrals from staff and activate the vigils. So I will try to keep this a brief meeting or brief video, and I'll go over the basics. If I don't cover it, please let me know and I can answer your questions. So as a phone coordinator, basically what this means, as we've likely already discussed, is you've decided to be on the on-call rotation to receive NODA Vigil referrals, as well as to activate the vigils. You'll also be closing out or canceling the vigils after they've ended. So I'll cover the basics of all of those things in this video. And so to get things started, with some background on how you will receive the phone calls. So here at Eskenazi, I've created a phone number with IT that is our NODA referrals line. The staff knows it as our referrals line. We know it as the coordinator's phone number. So that phone number you likely already have. I will not share it in this video. But that number the staff has. And what they'll do is when they see that there's somebody who may qualify for a vigil, they will call that phone number. So that phone number goes to my desk phone, which looks like one of these. And what I have it set up to is I will put it on call forwarding. So right now I'm the only coordinator, so I have the phone forwarding calls to my cell phone. So if you become the phone coordinator for a week, I'll just change who it's forwarded to. I'll forward it to your cell phone. So that will be the way that you receive phone calls from the staff. Is the way that they see it is they call the referrals line and it just forwards to your phone. So if you have questions about that, let me know. So when they do call you, you will need to do some basic intake just to make sure this person qualifies for a vigil. So I will show you what that looks like. This next screen here. So that will take you to this Word document, our NODA intake form. I can provide you with this form if you don't already have it. There will also be some places that you can download it that I'll make you aware of. But this is our current form. So it's pretty self-explanatory and I'll just go through it briefly. So you've received a call for a NODA referral. Need to write down what the date is, the time that you received the call, the caller's name, as well as if this person is a shift coordinator or a shifty. You can just ask them if they're a shifty. It's okay if the answer is no, but this is just to track data because we want most of our referrals to come from shifties just for ease of things on the internal side. I can explain that later if you would like. Also write down their callback number because you'll likely need this in the future. Next, you'll ask them for the patient information. You'll need their name, the patient's name, of course. You'll need their medical record number or their MRN, and the patient's room number. Next is the screening material. So there's 4 screening questions. Is the patient on comfort measures? Is the patient on a do not resuscitate or DNR status? Do we anticipate that the patient will die within 24 to 72 hours? And do you expect the patient to be alone at the time of death unless a NODA vigil is held? If the answer is yes to all of these, then this person qualifies for a vigil. If the answer is no to any of these, they do not qualify. If you have questions about that, please let me know. This may be more flexible in the future, but for now, with the resources that we have, these are the 4 screening questions that we need to use to make sure we're not burning our volunteers out. So if the person is not eligible for a vigil, just let the shifty know, hey, one of these questions, these screening questions we answered no to, and the reason that they are not eligible is because they need to be on a DNR status or because we only have the bandwidth to do a vigil for 24 to 72 hours or those types of things. However, if they are eligible for a vigil, let the caller know and then continue on the rest of the form. So you'll need to set up a HIPAA code word for the vigil. We can go over what that will be Basically, this is just a password. So the password is used if you call the shifty or any staff and you have questions about the patient, they're going to ask you for a passcode, meaning if you have the passcode, it means it's okay for them to share information with you. If you don't have the passcode, then they cannot share the information with you. So let's say the passcode is popcorn and one of our volunteers is running late and they don't know what room the patient is in. And somehow a lot of things have been lost in translation. They can just call the shift coordinator, give them the passcode, let's say it's popcorn, and the shift coordinator will know it's popcorn, and then they know they can share information with the volunteer. So that's what that is used for. The next question is the patient in isolation? If so, what for? So maybe they're in isolation for the flu or something else. Just make a note of that. What is the patient's condition? Are they talking? Are they awake? Just get that kind of basic information. And then does this patient have any known interests like reading or any type of music, those types of things? The reason you're collecting that is because it will go on the patient information form in the 10th floor office, which I will get to soon. So that's the intake form. You complete that, thank the caller, and then you'll hang up. So let's assume, of course, that this person is eligible for a vigil. You can let the shift coordinator know that you will activate one. So how do you do this? It's all done through our software, Volgistics. Volgistics is the same as VicNet, basically, and VicNet is the app that you have on your phone for scheduling. So basically, you've been given administrative access as a phone coordinator to make changes to the VicNet app. And it's very basic, very easy. I'll show you how to do it. So you go to volgistics.com, which is spelled just like this here. Click on Login. It will ask you for an account number, email address, and password. I'll enter those things right now and provide them to you at another date because I do not want to put them in the video. Then you should come to this screen. If you did not come to this screen, it's likely because you had some sort of pop-up come up and say somebody else is using the software or there's another session. As the phone coordinator trying to activate a vigil, you have priority. So I think you can just click continue on that screen and that'll log anybody else out. And that's only admins, it'll just log them out because you need to send this vigil out immediately so you have priority. So you'll come to this screen, the welcome screen. You'll see lots of options here on the left-hand side. The only one I want you to click on for now is assignments. So we have 3 preloaded vigils that we will be using on a continual basis. We'll be using Vigil A the most because that's, we'll likely only have 1 vigil happening at a time. If we have 2 vigils happening at a time, that's when we'll start using Vigil B, and then Vigil C will be if we have 3. So you'll use those 2 if you have a second and third vigil, but for now, we'll just use Vigil A. So you click on it, you'll see all of this information. This is basically preloaded information. It's how the vigil's set up. So I don't want you to worry about any of this. Just go straight to this rules tab here at the top. Click on that and you'll scroll down a little bit. Everything here is correct. The only thing that you need to click on is this checkbox. Qualified volunteers can schedule themselves. Right now it's unchecked, meaning that volunteers cannot see this assignment in VicNet on their calendar, so they cannot schedule themselves. However, we're activating a vigil with this example, so we want people to be able to sign themselves up. So click the checkbox so that qualified volunteers can schedule themselves. So once this checkbox has been clicked, you'll scroll down, click Save. And you'll see that it remains clicked. So now volunteers can schedule themselves in VicNet. They can now do self-sign-up, basically. So how do they know that there's a new vigil? That's the next part. That's when you'll go to Mailbox, because you need to send them a message. So go to Mailbox, go to Outbox, click on Send a Message. So you'll send them an email, a push notification on their VicNet app, That's called Vic Mail, so click that, as well as a text message. So check that box. You won't change any of this. What volunteers to send it to? Send it to all active volunteers. Scroll down further, message type, NODA communication. And then you'll load the template, which is NODA Vigil activations. So select that and then click load. So you'll see the subject automatically populated. There's no attachments, and all of this information auto-populated as well. So you don't need to change anything in the greetings line. You'll go straight to these boxes. So isolation. So we want to let the volunteers know if a patient is in isolation or not, so they can decide if they want to sign up for that vigil or not. So that's where you'll use your intake form. I'll reference that, scroll back down. Is the patient in isolation? If so, what for? Let's say they are in droplet isolation for flu. Or you can type influenza if you're feeling academic. So you can just type it in like that. Or let's say they're not in isolation. You can say patient is not in isolation. The Shifty phone number, this is the callback number that you recorded up here. The Shifty's callback number. Let's say it's 8675309. And then the HIPAA passcode that you decided with the Shifty. For the purpose of this one, let's say it's popcorn. You'll leave this the same. The 10th floor office number never changes. 10th floor office passcode won't change. I'll let you know if it does. And then the vigil start date, which will likely be the date that you received the referral. So today is July 17th. So we'll do it like that. The vigil is listed in VicNet as Vigil A. So this is like what we talked about earlier. Under assignments, there's Vigil A, Vigil B, and Vigil C. Just make sure you list which one it is. So if this is the second vigil, make sure it's listed as Vigil B. Let me know if you have questions on that. You will not need to change any of this. This is just follow-up instructions on how to sign up. And a text message. Basically, you're just going to send them a text saying, hey, there's a new vigil. And make sure you check your email. So I usually type something like, a new vigil has been activated. Please sign up in VicNet ASAP. So that's that. Post in VicNet until this date. So this is going to post this email in the VicNet app. So I would say there's no big rule on this. There's no way to really mess it up. Today's July 18th. Let's keep it there until August 18th. Let's give it 1 month. Again, don't worry about this too much. We just want to make sure it's posted in VicNet until the vigil has ended. So just go with a month. Then you click on here, go to the Dropbox, and then you'll click Send Now. I'm not going to click it because I don't want to message everybody. Actually, here, let's just send this to me. So you don't need to do this. Let's just send this message to me. Okay. Click Send Now. Okay. You click All right. There you go. This message was sent to just one recipient. But of course, when you send this, it'll say something like 30, 40 recipients, depending on how many active volunteers we have. And then you close it out. And now you have activated the vigil. So that's everything you need to know for the intake form for activating the vigil on VicNet, as well as how the referral line works. So I will end this video and I'll go over ending the vigil in the next video.